Okay, welcome everyone to another session of Crituitous RP. Previously, our band of adventurers had stumbled into, or not so much stumbled into, entered into the court of King Hecaton, where they met Sarissa, or at least they thought it was Sarissa. It was actually the ancient blue dragon Imrith herself. After she had kidnapped Artir and interrogated him for a while, the party got to know Queen Sarissa. The problem that they are trying to solve right now is still the same one they've been trying to cover for a while now. King Hecaton is missing and they don't know where. Queen Sarissa had a clue about his whereabouts, a coin that was left on the body of her mother that had died a couple months back. The coin led the party to a casino which finds itself at Waterdeep. So, teleporting their way to the city of Waterdeep, the party gathered various bits of information from the location of this casino, which is a ship known as the Grand Dame. The ship remains docked during the days, but at nights, from time to time, goes out to sea to embark in casino gambling and various other activities. They are presented with a couple possibilities. Either getting an invite to enter the casino as guests, or getting employment and entering the casino as staff. We now find the party gathered together in a tavern within the city of Waterdeep, planning their escapades. The rain is now pouring down as the sun is getting close to setting. The party have estimated about an hour or so before the ship is a couple hours before the ship is due to set sail for the evening, while a storm is making its way in towards Waterdeep. What are you guys going to do?
Gamel's going to shoot it.
Shooting the storm.
Knee-jerk reaction.
Okay. The storm fails its saving throw and kills you.
Kills us all. So we're in the Drunk Prince Inn, and we've had some food and some drinks, and we've kind of been chatting. I guess we're finishing up our meal, and a bunch of us need to go get clothes because we look like not the kind of people who could hang out on a casino. So, all right. So the plan is some of us got to go shopping, and then some of us got to go. We have to drop off our armor and equipment with your friend, right, Aaron?
Well, no, we're taking the armor and equipment in the portable hull that I brought, and that's going to go into a pouch of concealment, so we can have those on us.
He means the rest of our stuff.
I mean the rest of our stuff that we can't carry, that I lug around in my bag of holding. And Artir lugs in his bag of holding, that will surely get confiscated at the door.
Yes, I would like to deposit this somewhere safe. So yes, we do need to see Aaron's friend.
So anything that you don't want confiscated, that you don't see as essential, we can leave the drawer and come back for.
And you are welcome to put these things in my bag of holding, or no, it's up to you.
Or mine.
Gamel is just, well, everyone's got a magical bag of holding. But me.
I don't have one either. Dan was just left out of this club.
High five with Danik.
One of you guys can take the portable hole when we're done with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if that's it, I guess we should be going.
You gonna do your hair?
Well, we're gonna drop stuff off with Giora, and they have washrooms at your Hunters Guild place, right, Aaron?
Yeah.
I have a wonderful costuming kit ready for everyone to use and to just become fabulous.
Wonderful.
Now, before you guys entered the city of Waterdeep, as you were teleported in, Loic had seeming up and being used. Seeming is about running its course now and is running out of time. What are you guys doing? Are you attempting to get to the Hunters Guild before it finishes so that you can add more disguises? What is the plan?
That's my preference. Get to the Hunters Guild, drop the seeming, put gear away, store stuff, get ready to go, and then head out. Is my thought.
Yeah, if it dies ahead of time, we can duck behind some buildings and use some back roads.
Okay.
It is raining outside. People are very unlikely to be paying heed to us anyways.
Oh, just pull out our traveling cloaks and keep it over your face anyway.
Jace.
Okay. So, stepping out of the tavern, the lot of you head out into the rain. You put on your traveling cloaks. However, the images that other people see with the seeming doesn't put on travel cloaks and doesn't appear to be touched by the rain at all as you make your way through the streets of Waterdeep. You get towards the Hunters Guild. Aaron directs you straight there, and Artir had joined in previously, so they kind of knows already where to go. You find Jorah inside the Hunters Guild, but not in his customary sat on the chair, the throne, as it were. He is actually in the foyer, talking to some of his men, just having a good time, a relaxing end of the day kind of scenario, as he's just stood around with a nice big ale in his hand, talking stories about vicious monsters that he has killed or will kill or has been contracted to kill, and the like, as you all enter through those big double doors. He turns to Artir and Aaron, looks at both of you. I'm assuming one of you is still one of you? I'm confused. Hey.
I'm just gonna nudge Roper and ask him, can we drop it now?
I will turn to Gamble and ask, you see anyone around that's familiar or suspicious or anything? You feel safe?
Danric, give me that die, and I'm going to go to the washroom, drop it in 5 minutes, and no one's heard my name yet, so I'm going to say, and just by the by, my name is Dirk. And take the die, head into the washroom, close the door.
It's that way. I'm just going to go, yeah. Me, to Jorah.
Okay.
We'll drop this in a minute, but I have another favour to ask. I'm sorry. Nothing big. I just need you to hold some stuff for us.
All right.
Nothing major. Oh, so something I forgot to give you earlier in the rush. Can you get this to Osrin? And I hand him a letter.
Sure, of course. Headed up towards the Neverwinter Lodge next week. I'll make sure that she gets it.
Thanks. She hasn't heard from me in a while. I don't want her to worry.
No problem. Happy to help. You guys are like family.
Yeah. Well, so yeah. We're just having a quick change, and we'll be back out your hair. I just need to store, and I'm going to take off we're just going to take all our stuff, and we need to leave it here. We're going on the Golden Goose, and they're pretty tight on security.
Okay. Well, as you know, the lodgings inside the lodge at your disposal while you're in town. So you'll find lockers in there that you can use and secure. I can promise you that no one will touch your belongings once they've been locked.
Good. I'll gesture to the other guys to head that way. And, all right, cool. I'll catch up with you in a sec. All right, I need to deal with this, and then we'll be out. Yeah.
Of course. So
Right.
you follow Aaron off to the side, the left side, towards the same direction that Gamel had headed out towards the washroom, but instead of turning towards the washrooms, you turn into the lodgings. This is a large chamber filled with bunk beds. As far as you can see, all along the wall, lined up in the center, is just bunk beds, and then next to each set is a set of lockers, tall, big, 10-foot high iron cabinets. You look over each of them, and you, Loic, make an Arcana check for me. See how attuned you are to such things. Yeah, you get a Just walking around, you immediately get a sense that these lockers are magically secure. And when Jorah says your belongings will be safe within these lockers, he means there is no way anyone can get into the lockers without your permission.
And there's no other kind of like portal magic or dimensional magic or anything?
Not inside. These are just
All right.
large lockers that you could just fit everything into, but it's not dimensional stuff.
I pull out my tiny little cube and I put it in the giant locker, and then I close the giant locker.
Okay. I suggest that we get the portable hole out and start putting the stuff that we need in there. Let's start stripping off.
Loic, as you close the locker, and as everyone puts their stuff in lockers themselves and closes it, you see a red sigil just start to burn a little bit just off your hand, that also burns on the end of the cabinet, and then it disappears. You have the lock has attuned to you effectively, for that matter.
That's pretty cool.
I suppose it will not do for me to be your bodyguard and wearing a circlet. It makes me seem more regal and less like a servant. So I will take this off and put it in my bag as well, which we do not see if I am still seamed.
The seaming should be dropped by about now. It doesn't take Gamel long to change his appearance. Would you care to describe your new appearance to everyone?
So while everyone is putting away their stuff in the lockers, someone comes around the corner who's a short human that you would not recognize except for the fact that he is wearing black armor. He has a very, very short trimmed beard and very, very short hair. He's cut off almost all of his beard. He's cut off almost all of his hair. He's got kind of a Commander Riker look. And with his natural features and how he's not the traditional stout kind of dwarf, he looks like a slightly shorter human than most. And those of you who know Gamble know that he took great pride in his beard. And if you look closely, you might see a little tear coming out of his eye because he had to cut his beard off. But that's about what he looks like.
What have you done to yourself?
I know. I don't want to talk about it. Just take off the gear.
Your
and start to
hair
cover
was
this
so beautiful.
I know, but can't risk being recognized, and
It's a bit extreme.
no one
Carol.
would think this is it.
We could have just killed anybody that recognized you.
Save the hair.
You know, dwarf with a long
if
beard.
only I had known that was an option.
All right, so Aaron's going to put the portable hole on the floor, and then decidedly everybody's going to have to decide what equipment they're going to put into that portable hole. So,
Are there any, Aaron, this portable hole thing, are there anything that should not go in that portable hole?
extra dimensional stuff.
Anything that is an extra dimensional item, like a bag of holding.
Or like a fun belt pouch that magically produced extra ammo?
That's fine, because you
All
can't actually store. It's not like TARDIS. Effectively, you never put a TARDIS inside of a TARDIS, and that's the problem. Here, you have a TARDIS in front of you, a hole that is larger than it should be. Don't put anything inside that could hold extra space.
Okay, so we're going to dump a musket and a pistol and my bag of ammo. And what do you think, Whelm? You good going in there? Or you want to hang out back?
Will there be any giants on the boat?
Unlikely, but always possible.
All right, I'm taking a nap.
All right, I'll leave you here then. You'll be safe. If you have any problems, just scream and scare any passerbys. It'll be hilarious. Put them in the locker.
So you're putting him in the locker, okay?
Sure. If that's where he wants to go, that's just fine by me.
Now, your armor.
Armor's going to go in the locker. Because if crap hits the fan and we got to run, I don't have 10 or 15 minutes to don full plate armor anyway. So we're going to put it here. That way, if I die, my masterwork armor will be used someday.
Aaron's gonna suggest take the armor.
All right. If you've got the space and you recommend it, I mean, you're right. Maybe better to have it than not.
We don't know where Hecaton is, and anywhere. I have a feeling that Hecaton is not on this plane if he's still alive because we can't seem to contact him. If there is any way that this lead leads to where Hecaton is, we may go somewhere else from the ship. We may have time to don armor later. Is just the thought process.
All right, fair enough.
It's better to have it and not need it than to not need it and not have it. To need it and not have it.
Right. But all my mundane stuff will go in the locker, I guess.
All right.
Aaron's going to put Terminus in. No, just Terminus and his armor and the cloak.
Okay.
Making
So just those 3 items in there. All right. And everything else you're putting in your bag in your locker.
Yeah.
All right. Danric.
Danric is he's going to put his bagpipes in the portable hole. He's going to, just because they're magic, and I don't want to risk them getting confiscated going in because they could cause some havoc. But he's going to bring the fiddle in, bring it in as his instrument. And the armor will go in the hole. All of his, he's going to bring the entertainer's kit in with him as well as part of his, if he's there doing that, he'll need it, presumably, to, just to get dressed and get ready for performing on the boat.
Of course.
And his armor, his cloak, the 9 live stealer, all that stuff is just going to go in the hole.
Okay, so it's all going in the hole. Artir, what stuff are you putting in the hole, and what stuff are you leaving behind?
I am putting nothing in the hole. I do not wish to be tempted to use my awesome killing prowess, and I will leave everything behind in my bag in the locker. I'm wearing my displacer cloak presently. I ask Loic, does this displacer cloak match my outfit, or do I need to leave the cloak as well?
No, it's a fine item, and I don't see them confiscating it because it's not a utility to cause any kind of mischief. It's a defensive thing. So.
No. Sorry, a couple of things. Aaron needs to put the folding boat in there as well.
In the hole.
In the portal hole, and the 3 supreme potions of healing as well, just in case.
Magic carpet too. Did you already say that?
I didn't want to put the magic carpet. If I need to fly, does anybody else need to fly? Because Eric can fly with the cloak.
Well, I'm not gonna have my material components with me, so.
If the time comes that we all have to fly, I don't know how we would accomplish that anyway without the carpet, I guess.
Carpet's only big enough for 1 anyway. 2, well, one person and a halfling.
Well, we expect there to be a lot of innocent people on this. So if we sink the boat and everyone would die, that seems like a bad idea. In that case, a foldable boat should be enough.
The foldable boat isn't. The foldable boat is probably bigger than or equal size to the boat that we are going on, I imagine.
Fair enough.
So.
Okay.
Danric, can you? I wish to appear even more exotic than I am. Can you put like black paint around my eyes? I wish them to look very smoky.
Okay. While he's helping put makeup onto Artir, Loic, what are you putting in the hole in order to have with you, and what are you actually going to wear when walking in? As a wizard, you have a little bit more leeway when it comes to your clothing.
So I'm going to put my studded leathers in the hole. My spell book is going in the hole. And let's see, Cassiniad is going in the hole because it's got my focus crystal on it.
Yep.
And the Staff of Fire.
Okay.
And then...
And, yep. Just what are you wearing?
So on my person still is... I'm going to continue to wear the Robe of Eyes because we've established that I can wear stuff over that. And it's not
detrimental.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's a good way to say it. Keeping the headband of intellect, of course. Pearl of power. The sending stone. And I'm going to tuck the Brigandare token really, really tightly, like in my...
Okay, but you're keeping that on your person.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a chance that the headband could get confiscated? If this is a casino, they might not want people using any gear that could enhance their mental faculties.
You think this is for me?
Fair enough.
All right.
So, what are me and Gamble going in as? If you're the entertainer, do you want us to be your assistants, or?
Well, I mean,
I had thought I'd be going in as a noble, but not associated with Loic and Artir. That way, if you guys have a problem, I can come down, and presumably people would give me less of a problem about a noble person being in with the waitstaff area than the other way around. And then if Loic and Artir get in trouble, I can go assist them.
Okay.
That had been my original thought.
If that's the case, then I would like some... it would be my preference if someone was around the kitchen area. That's where a lot of stuff goes down, I hear.
Well, and if Danric and Aaron are going to be doing the performing side of things, I could either be a noble who loves food, or I could go in as a waitstaff.
I don't need to go in with that Danric. I can just go to the kitchen if that's what you prefer.
I mean, dancing bears are all the rage. Just...
Well, that's the thing. You want me to go in as a bear?
No, that would probably be worse. It would cause chaos. Not the good kind of chaos. At least not initially.
All right, so I've got Gamel is heading in as a nobleman by himself as a guest. I've got Danric is going in attempting to be entertainment. You would have to be signed on as staff for the purpose of entertainment. Who is joining Danric in the staff route? Aaron. Anyone else? Okay. Going in as staff, and then
now, Danric, your costumes, those are kind of costumes, right? If we're going to actually go in as nobles, we need to actually purchase better clothing that doesn't just look the piece, but actually is the part.
Well, I mean, a noble from, depending on where they're from, costumes can work. You can be an exotic foreigner coming over to Waterdeep to test his mettle. But yeah, you might be better off not wearing these costumes. It'll draw a lot of attention.
Well, we got time to hit up what's a fancy word for a clothing store?
You probably
Boutique
don't
tailor.
have time at this time of night to be able to go to a store, but you have enough connections that you could probably get some clothing off of other hunters. The Zents might be able to provide stuff for you. You've got avenues that don't involve you going to a store at this time of night.
Isn't it just supposed to be like 6 p.m.?
After you guys have been drinking and having some time, it's about an hour or so before the ship is set. Well, it's about an hour or two before sunset, and that's when the ship is due to set off. The shops are closing. You can go to the shops, but you don't have to.
Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some stuff.
Yeah, Gamma would like to just purchase a set that he can keep and have, just so he doesn't have to worry about getting it back to anybody afterwards. Doesn't want to feel in debt to anyone.
Aaron's gonna put on whatever Danric's got for him.
Oh, you brave, brave man.
Loic and Artir, what are you doing to enter the ship? What avenue are you taking?
Both guests, but together.
Guests together, okay?
And just to make it all above board, I am wearing my bracers of defense, the magic items. Just, I said I put everything in the bag. I didn't mean my
All right.
forearm coverings.
Right, so everything goes in the hole. He wraps up the hole. He puts it in the pouch. He gives the pouch to Gamel.
So Gamble,
Okay.
you now have this tiny little pouch. It's a couple inches tall. It feels fairly heavy, maybe about 20 pounds worth in here, but that's just artificial weight to make it look like an actual pouch. But you know, hidden within is this cloth that unfolds into a hole, which is a strange concept. All right, so Gamel, you're going off to buy some nobleman clothing.
With Loic, right?
Okay.
Let us all go.
Okay, so everyone goes. You find a tailor in town that is able to just outfit you all with clothing of different kinds if you want. But generally speaking, around 15 gold a piece per outfit.
That's fair.
And these are like fancy pants outfits.
Yes, if that's what you want to go for. It's a fancy pant.
Gonna treat yourself.
Everybody realizes they left their gold in the locker.
Well, I was gonna mention this earlier. Like I have my pouch. I have like my money pouch and
I think if you
no
are
gear.
heading onto a casino,
Yeah,
money is not a problem. Like,
Yeah.
taking money onto a casino is not going to be an issue.
Well, Aaron's left his gold in the. Maybe he's got like 5 gold on him, but like he's working. He's staff. He won't carry
Hang
much from
on.
him.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say if you want it, I can try to talk the tailor into giving us a bulk deal, so yours can be just the 5 gold.
Do
But-
it.
So what
we
are you
don't- we
saying
don't need
to
to-
the tailor?
No, I think we don't need to risk pissing off somebody who's giving a bunch of people conspicuous costumes immediately before a bunch of mayhem is going to happen on a boat. So
It's just nice. It's what he sells. He sells nice, fancy clothing.
It's
You can
true.
say about that.
we're going to leave. I
So
think Dan will-
we were looking for entertainers' clothing, and I'm going to go with the assistant to the
Yeah.
master. So
Well, and
I'm the
I mean,
apprentice.
my entertainers pack has 2 costumes in it already, so we don't need to purchase anything.
I don't need to put it, I'll just wear what you got.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
going
so
to
we
look
can-
like your lowly apprentice.
Now, Danric, you get to pick what Aaron looks like.
Mhm.
Belly dancer.
I mean, it wasn't too far off what I had in mind.
Sorry.
No, well, so the broad idea of it is very velvety purple. There's going to be some kind of like makeup under the eyes with a little glitter to it, and very like 80s hair metal, but appropriate to a medieval fantasy setting. So, yeah, right. So there's gonna be like a big cod piece, and velvety trousers with like heeled platform boots, and lacy silky cravat with kind of a flowy ruffle shirt, like from the episode of Seinfeld where he has the pirate shirt, but instead of being white, it's more of a purple. So lots of purples going on. And when it comes to doing the hair, we're going to have it, I don't know how long Aaron's hair actually is, but down and kind of tussled intentionally to look a little disheveled.
That's Aaron's hair anyway.
There you go. See, he's already ready for it. And gloves, and like leather gloves.
Okay. All
Aaron's
right.
quite
That sounds
long.
amazing.
Yeah.
So you have all the things you need. You all heading off to the Zentarium together?
Jason, Aaron's gonna do all the talking. This entire-
Since
Danric
Aaron
just
spoke to him last time.
Danric just turns to Aaron over and is like, "You look good. This is gonna go well. You should consider a new career. We got this."
So returning
he'd
through the
say-
town to the location where you know the Zent house is, you knock on the door. Sure enough, the little halfling opens up, sees you. You hear him chuckle just a little bit.
We're on a job. I want to see Jasper.
No questions. Don't ask, don't tell, you know. And he opens the door, invites you in, and guides you towards Jasper's couches, past all of the lascivious activities that are still going on within the Zent house. For the benefit of those who didn't see it, you see animal trade, slave trade, you see gambling, you even see some pit fighting going on in one corner. So it's a lot of lascivious activities. Jasper, sure enough, is sat down on his couch, beckons you all over. So, friends, have you decided?
Yes.
What's the plan? Okay, what are we doing? Tell me.
Danric is just like laughing hysterically, trying to keep it together as much as he can while this is happening.
As you can see, we are ready to go on board. I have 3 people that want to go on as guests, and 2 of us as entertaining staff.
Okay. They are quite entertaining to look upon. All right. He waves at someone, and this female, thin, bright red hair, walks over. She is clad in full plate armor, which is a little surprise to see in amongst all of these thieves and cutthroats wearing leather. She seems pretty decked out. Pulls her over, and she drops in a bunch of invitations. And he says, okay, I need 3 of those and 2 of the staff ones. Yep, okay. And he hands them out to you all. You will find that each of these invitations has the inscription from Casper Dryland as a personal invitation to be present on the ship for tonight. Those that are employed have been given instructions as to the time and place in which you are to meet. You are to arrive at the dock at least before sundown, as the ship is due to set sail shortly afterwards. And you are to report directly to Palming, who will then instruct you on your tasks and your duties. The instructions given to the guests just welcomes you to a night of frivolity and fun aboard the Grand Dane. The itinerary of events includes, just after sundown, the guests will be boarded onto the ship into the Great Hall. You will then be greeted by the captain himself before he helms the ship, and the night begins and the gambling starts. You've already paid for our services, so is there anything else we can do for you to aid you in this manner?
Not this time, but
Okay. Now remember, I have a very serious investment in this place. And he looks particularly at the 2 that have the employee passes, as they were, invitations. A lot of the staff are also under my employ. They're under my protection. Anything happens to ruin their livelihood, I ruin your lives. We got a deal?
Go do.
All right. Very well.
I did have one question, if you don't mind. Easy one.
Of course.
How long does the trip usually take for it to come around?
It will not arrive back until dawn.
Okay.
It heads out into the sea and will circle for a while until dawn.
All right.
Long night ahead of you.
It's been a long day.
It has, because you've done a lot today. All right. So, you have everything you need. You know where the ship is. You leave the Zent house, not stopping to do anything along the way.
We are going to stagger.
Stagger.
Yeah.
Staggering.
Cool.
Okay.
Aaron and Danrick are going to probably have to go
I'll go
a
take the
different
lead.
entrance.
Well, we should take the lead because I imagine we need to be on there before the guests. So we'll make more pace.
Okay. So, first up being Danrick. And you know what? We all know what you look like, so I'm going to turn off the nameplates just to make it easier to see.
Ooh, who's it? Hey.
Can you see yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jace.
Yep.
Good.
Can you move yourselves is the question.
I should hope so.
Yes.
All right. So, you... Is your... there it is. Okay, cool. So, first up, Erin and Danrick, you make your way towards the docks, and sure enough, you see the Grand Dame before you. It is a long ship, tall, probably about above the water. You can see at least 2 stories of this ship. It's a beautiful wooden ship. The sails tall. They appear to be, though it's dark, they appear to be red in color, with some stripe imagery within it, but it's difficult to tell what kind of description and image is on these sails. The wind and the rain is howling at the ship, and people are just hurrying to get staff on. The vast majority of people that are there appear to be dressed in similar clothing, and this is just a white tunic and black slacks. And they're all being hurried onto the ship. And as you approach, a tall woman approaches to the end of the pier. This woman you can assume to be Pao Ming. She is wearing a long robe that's white with green snakes embroidered into it. And you swear out the corner of your eye, the pattern of snakes shifts from time to time. She is wearing a nice big pendant necklace around her neck as she stands there just watching everyone approach. And she sees the 2 of you coming in. I need to know what you guys are thinking about as you approach.
Entertaining.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a set list. What would be some good songs to sing for these people? Also, how cool the moving snakes are on the robe. Also, how much we stand out amongst all of these white tunics and black pants.
Yeah. They're clearly
waved.
we were like, oh, we're supposed to be entertainment staff. Were we supposed to be dressed like this? I'm not really feel.
Yeah.
I was completely self-conscious right now.
She waves up towards you, beckons you over. Passes, please. You both hand over your employment invitations. We already have some entertainment staff on tonight, though you do stand out. Very well. Report to the Grand Hall. You will be required to perform after the dancing monkeys.
Thank you, my lady.
Dancing monkeys,
And-
this is going to be awesome.
And she returns to her stoic look as you walk in, though she's keeping an eye on the both of you as you do so. Time goes by and guests begin to arrive. Quite a few nobles of the city and various important people arrive at the ship. There's probably a good, say, 15, 20 people that are in, and mingling amongst that group would be Gamel or Dirk.
Dirk. Yep.
Same thing, you see her there waiting and taking passes. And
Do I recognize
as you
anybody in
approach,
this crowd? Like, there's a bunch of nobles around. Do I recognize some of these people?
roll a perception check. You do, actually. Your old, and I mean old, guildmaster is in the group.
Now I'm wishing I'd shaved my entire beard.
The Waterdeep Smith's Guild master is in the group, along with you see him enter with a young lady who you know was not his wife back when you knew him, but she's fairly young, elven individual, very beautiful.
All
At
right.
his side.
Well, she's interesting, but we will not be following up with that. All right, so just need to make sure I gamble enough and just have a good time, I guess.
Is that what you're thinking about as you're approaching?
That's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, okay, just have a good time. Try not to be too concerned. You go to a casino, let your problems fall away. You got a big cat pouch full of coins. Just have some fun and relax.
Okay. By the time you follow this crowd in, she grabs, hand out for your invitation, looks it over. Okay, very well. Please enter. Please take a seat within the grand hall, and drinks will be served shortly.
She's so much nicer to the nobles than to the staff. What the heck is that?
Strike.
Yeah. Thank you, madame. And go inside.
At the tail end of these nobles and guests arriving comes Artir and Loic.
I will have summoned my familiar. So now Loic has, in addition to his fancy outfit, he's got a gray model Geyer Falcon on his shoulder, just sitting there looking evil. He's got red eyes because he's a fiend.
Okay.
And
So I need to know what you two are thinking about. What are your surface thoughts as you approach? You pass by Pao Ming.
I am thinking, this is beneath me. I should be doing much better things with my life. What decisions have I made that brought me to this point?
Okay. And Loic.
I'm thinking I have to find Pao Ming. Pao Ming sounds like an exotic name. I need to be looking for someone who's in an exotic outfit.
She will pry a little bit deeper into your thoughts as a result of you looking for her. So, let's just refresh myself on the detect thoughts spell. You need to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Sure.
Okay. What's the DC?
And here's where the plan immediately falls apart and we just start shooting people. Couldn't make it past the front door.
I'm sure you'll make it past the front door.
Hey, if this goes wrong, most of us are fine.
Oh,
That's true.
you managed to succeed. She was not able to penetrate your mind, and she.
What a low spell save DC.
I know, right? Unable to penetrate your mind, she stares at you as you approach, takes the pass, and you can tell she's going to keep her eye on you.
Telepathically, I will ask, "Are you coming?" Because she looks exotic.
You're looking for me. Why are you looking for me?
Ah, good. I'm gonna pull out the headband of intellect, and I will say, "A gift for you and your captain. I very much appreciate the invitation. I've been waiting to get here for a while. Some of my friends are waiting for me inside, I'm sure.
She.
You may not require this. However, perhaps you could give it to another and actually have a conversation for once."
She opens up the tiny little pouch, and you see that her pouch on her pocket tends to just grow a little bit larger than it probably should as she opens the string, and she places the headband of intellect within her own bag of holding, and then closes it up. It shrinks ever so slightly on her person. Appreciated.
Are you really a psychic?
That's a little bit forward for a first date, wouldn't you think?
Would you like to talk about it on the ship?
Inside, I'm interested to pry at your mind.
Back at you.
Please take a seat. Drinks will be served shortly. The last of the guests make their way onto the ship, and at which point the dancing monkeys begin to perform to everyone. And it's a group of 3 monkeys that that are performing, 2 of which are playing instruments, while the other dances in front of them. These are well trained, but you can, as employees, as entertainers, you can see off to the side there is a very stern taskmaster that is watching them intently, and you get an idea that he's generally not a good guy by the way that he is intent on these particular creatures, and the way they keep looking back at him every time they maybe make a mistake. The drinks are served. Everyone gets a nice, wonderful cup of ale. Yep.
Question: are they capuchin monkeys, or are they? What I mean,
bonobos?
What kind of monkeys we dealing with here? I need to know.
These
are they actually apes?
No, they're not ape. The classification of ape, I don't really know all of that stuff. They are spider monkeys.
Okay. I kind of nudge Aaron and be like, we should have done the dancing bear. Why didn't we? Why we should have made that a more serious thought. Now we got upstaged by a bunch of monkeys.
What exactly are we going to do? I can't even play an instrument.
It's fine. I got a plan.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
While everything settles down and the monkeys run off to the side, very quickly shoot into their cage, a older individual enters the main chamber, just about here, and he stands out from the rest. Not just because he's not dressed in noble clothing at all. He's dressed in old fisherman's clothing. His clothes look like they're stitched together with seaweed as well as leather and string, but also because on his shoulder is an octopus. And he's just striding through the group, greeting people. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome. Hello. Oh, it's good to see you again. Don't lose too much tonight. He makes his way through. He greets each of you in a similar fashion to the way he greets others, giving the idea that this guy just has a standard conversation that he gives to people, not really caring too much about who's on his ship. After he's greeted each guest individually and Pao Ming has returned to her position, watching over everything, he gives her a nod and then stands up in front of everyone by the bar. Welcome, everyone, to the Golden Goose. We are setting sail already, and she'll be out into the open waters shortly. Once we are far enough out of the city, the music will start up again. We have some new entertainers for us tonight, and the games will begin. Should you require any assistance, my assistant Pao Ming will be glad to aid you. Just don't get on the bad side. Don't want to that happen again. As always, I am your generous host. Glad to have you all here, and I hope you enjoy your stay while I enjoy your spoils. Goodbye, everyone. And he starts walking off. He passes through the crowd again and up the spiral staircase at the back of this hall. Now that he's gone and things are focusing, this room, long chamber, lots of tables all over the place. Every table is set up with enough space for you to drink and have some food at your spot, but also the central area of the table is large enough that games will be brought to that location. You have and Pao Ming instructs, and there are various people to help you. The staff help you out. At the northern end of the ship is purely a guest room, a comfort room, relaxation room, as it were, where people can go and get away from the busy activities within the main gambling area. The entertainment begins again, and you guys are shooed on.
All right.
Danric and Aaron, what are you doing?
Well, Danric is going to introduce. Well, how when we go up for the entertainment, what kind of focus is actually on us as opposed to people kind of doing their own thing?
By now, as you are getting shooed onto the stage, people aren't really focused on you. You're more there to distract people if they are distractible than anything else.
Okay, so then what Danric is going to do is he's going to keep an eye around, like spot around the area to see if anybody looks like they're particularly entertainable, because his strategy, and so Aaron, what we're going to do is we're going to meander the room, perform for individuals, find people that we can basically work to, sing some songs, do some dances, just basically have a good time. Now, I think this is right up your alley, so let's just go do it.
Aaron hasn't heard a thing at this point. He's seen the crowd and he's having complete stage fright.
Okay. Oh, but before we actually did Aaron come up? Did we have like stage names that we were going to use? Well, because I don't know if we wanted to be like Danric and Aaron, because that might be a bad idea.
That's up to you.
You could be Aaron and Danric. You just switch. It works totally very well. It's a super good plan all the time. Always do that.
All right. Well,
make something up.
So we're gonna get up and say, "Greetings, everybody, on board this fabulous casino cruise. We will be your entertainment for the night. I am the fabulous fiddler," and he takes out his fiddle and does a little do. And this is the dancing dynamo, and he just gestures to Aaron for him to dance.
Look, bursts into laughter in the back of the room. You could just hear it faintly.
Now,
I need a performance check from Aaron, please.
Aaron's got great charisma, right?
Dude, Aaron, use your heroism charm from Aramicus so you don't get frightened anymore and you can be all confident and like you know what you're doing.
Actually, I've still got that. Why not?
Okay. So, you The stage fright is coming on. You're struggling to be able to focus on what's needed, and you think back. I've faced demons. I've faced so many things. It's just a stage, and you run back through your memory. Your life flashes before your eyes, and you feel the presence of Aramacus, the great forest in the Underdark, once again in your mind, as he's bestowing this blessing of heroism on you. You take in his form. You are no longer frightened and immune to being frightened for the next hour. I would say go ahead and re-roll that performance check. I'm not going to give you advantage, but you can re-roll it. 14. All right. Nice. It takes a while before a couple people even care to notice you, but no one's booing you, which is good. One or two ladies in the group slips a silver coin into your pocket or whatever you happen to have.
Fake until you make it.
Did you say, like, is my belly exposed? I kind of feel like I'm going to be like one of these thingies.
Belly's
like,
not exposed.
Oh, Aaron's got ripped abs. So.
Well, you can expose your belly. If you're feeling real confident, maybe you're going to rip a little bit.
I'm feeling a bit confident now. Maybe just like this.
Okay. While the entertainment is happening, a couple games start. A couple people start betting on. Some card games start. Some dice games start. A couple people just start playing chess with one another. But generally speaking, it's just an opportunity for people to gamble with one another. But every time someone gets close to running out of money, you notice that they walk over to Pao Ming, hand over gold, and she reaches into her pouch, her large bag of holding, and pulls out more of these wooden gambling chips. And each of you will have had to do, any of you guests, in order to gamble at the tables, you will have to have given over some of your gold to her and received some chips. So I need to know, Gamble, are you here to gamble?
I'm going to gamble. I'm going to let everyone else kind of make... Because my job is to kind of just be present and available if they need it. So I'm just going to gamble pretty hard for at least a couple hours, if nothing else comes up before that.
So how much money are you giving to Pao Ming?
Is there a high rollers table?
At the moment, at this stage of the night, it's just guests playing against guests.
Okay, because if there is a high roller table, I don't want to be there. That's too conspicuous. But I'd like to be at like the upper middle class roller table.
Okay.
So however many chips I need to work my way up there, it's just fine.
So you gauge what everyone else is doing, and you figure to really kind of not stand out, but also stay aloft, you should probably hand over about 500 gold, just to start off with.
Let's make it 607, because that rounds really well with what I've got in my inventory. How's that?
Okay, fair enough. So you hand over 607. I hope turn it back. Yeah, so. She hands you the equivalent amount of golden goose coins. Loic and Artir, will you be trading in gold for chips?
Yeah, I'll do the 500.
500. And Artir?
I will be watching like a lowly bodyguard.
Okay. All right. So the chips are a 1-to-1 when you buy them. So each of you 607, you get 607 chips. 500 gold, 500 chips, and so on. You start betting, and there are a couple games going on. Gamel, as you're betting, I need you to roll a check. But here's where you get to be creative. What skills are you going to be using to aid yourself in the various games that you see? There is dice, there is cards, there is chess. You had a really good chess game a couple hours ago.
I mean, I'm not going to be trying to lie or cheat. I'm just going to use my insight, perception, and persuasion to just get into people's heads, try to have a sharper eye on what's going on, and then over the course of the game, maybe try to throw people with some a little bit of persuasive talk. You know, oh, you wouldn't want to play that, or maybe I've got this, that, or the other. That is predominantly what I'll be doing.
Okay. All right. So to get a gauge of how well you're doing both of those things, I'm going to need an insight check and a deception check. Okay. All right. Kind of evens out. A couple hours into the ride, you are down to 50 chips, and you've been losing quite a bit. Loic, are you trying to earn chips, or are you just kind of going along?
No, I'm trying to earn chips.
Okay. So
Use
same
my
question
brain.
to you. Straight up intellect.
Yeah. We'll do if you're breaking it up into skills, then I'll do investigation and deception, and I'll switch my psionic focus so that I get advantage with deception.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. All right. You actually managed to gain a few more chips.
It turns out Loic and Gamel were at the same table, and Loic took all of Gamel's money.
I ain't giving it
Loic-
back.
Loic forgot what Gamel looked like and was just taking it all. No, Loic, you, after a couple hours, after the first preliminary games have gone on, you now have 800 golden goose chips. Okay, and stoically watching on is Artir. The performances continue, and they shoo Danric and Aaron off after you have done a good job and even been tipped
All right.
150 golden goose coins each.
Wow. Does that mean we get to gamble too? If they're giving us golden goose coins?
That's what you've been tipped with. We'll see what happens with the coins at the end of this, the night. Okay, so a few more entertainment. What was that? Sorry.
Sorry, before we were shooting off, could Aaron have been trying to perceive stuff?
What's going on?
What's going on? Looking at people, getting a sense of how the staff are functioning, anything suspicious, that kind of stuff. While he's out, and he's got a good look at everything.
Okay, roll a perception check. All right, fair enough. You watch some of the people, the guests, and then you start focusing on the staff a little bit more. No one is allowed upstairs. Not even staff. Staff are all made to go downstairs. The guests are welcome to join the staff downstairs, though the guests don't really want to. But no one, in fact, a couple times, some people get reprimanded for even going near the spiral staircases that lead up. You know that there are actually 2 staircases that lead up into the upper sections. One at the end, right next to Pao Ming, where she is stood, then another at the north end of the ship within the relaxation room.
Okay.
What would you guys like to be doing
So
during this time?
Have we been ushered downstairs?
You've been ushered off stage. You've been told that the next couple hours are for you to do as you please, as you are entertainment and not wait staff. Though they do recommend that you do not make fools of yourselves, as you will be expected to perform towards the end of the night.
We can perform and still have made fools of ourselves. I think, and so I'll look to Aaron and say, I think what we should do during this time is work the room, see if we can check in with Loic and with Artir and with Gamel, see what they're finding out, if they're getting any information, and then see if we can spot any people that might have some information we would need amongst the general populace. The relaxation room sounds like a good spot to go. It's a little exclusive, you know.
Yeah. All right. Aaron's going to agree. Yeah, I'm going to agree, but conversation isn't my speciality. I'll leave that to you. I might just try and eavesdrop on some of the conversations or
Yeah.
just get a gist of anything interesting.
All right.
So just going to circulate in the room and just see if he picks out anything interesting. Not try to make it look like I'm eavesdropping, because that power one is obviously eavesdropping on everybody. So, but just anything that might grab my ear.
Okay. All right. So anyone that cares to be like looking for rumors, looking for anything similar to this, go ahead and roll perception checks.
Gamel's on a boat, which, as we all know, he's had trouble with before. He didn't bring any ginger ale, so he is not doing well on anything on this boat.
And losing all his money, losing his lunch pretty
Getting a
soon.
little upset. Just, ooh.
I think Danrick is just riding on the high of a decent performance and is not really all there right now either. So he's pretty out of touch with everything.
Okay. So Aaron, Loic, and Artir, the three of you, you do pick up on the fact that while no one is allowed upstairs, periodically a rough and tumble looking pirate-like individual will stumble down the steps and make his way to the bar, grab a drink, and then go straight back up. Then you hear conversations of, oh, he must be part of Casper's crew. The odd person mentioning, oh, I wish I could actually sit down and meet with the captain. I've heard so many tales about him, so many adventures, and then he suddenly stopped. No idea why. Artir, you hear a rumor that Pao Ming is, rumor has it, she's using Casper to try and gain influence into possibly an introduction with the Arcane Brotherhood of Luskan.
Loic,
Yeah. What is it?
I have come up with a juicy piece of information. Pao Ming wishes...
Oh, no. Shh, 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 shh. Get away from the tables.
So you back away from the tables, keep your distance.
Yeah.
How is this room lit?
It's well lit. There's plenty of lights in the ceiling, little torches being dangled from the ceiling.
Is this little area outside, is that like a place where you can actually walk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So all of those openings you can actually step out of onto the main thing. Stepping out, though, you are buffeted as the rain is pouring down upon you.
Feels nice and familiar.
There are cracks of thunder in the distance. Looking outside of the ship, you wouldn't imagine that the inside is so jolly and happy because of just how dark and dreadful. Like, most ships wouldn't be sailing in a storm like this, but this one happens to be sailing perfectly through the storm.
What was it that you wanted to say?
I overheard that Pao Ming wishes an introduction to the Arcane Brotherhood. This is the organization that you are a member of, is it not?
Yeah, it is. We're very secretive about that, though.
Well, should I, as your agent, arrange a meeting between you and Pao Ming?
Well, see, here's the thing. I was already wanting to meet with her, and you tell me if you think that this is clever or not socially. I want to tell her much of why we're here and who we are and what we're doing, not which groups or what, but us individually, that we came here because we're following up on something, and it's a high-profile situation, and that their business is under threat, and that we want to help investigate the situation without causing any kind of commotion, so maybe they can help us with that. little more professionally.
I would advise that you give her a reason to want to keep you around before asking such questions. As if you were to ask this question and she has no reason to keep you around, she may see fit to expel you for deceiving her onto the ship.
I didn't deceive anyone or anything.
Well, our invitations are counterfeit, so I recommend leading or allowing me to lead with your credentials and going from there.
Okay. I'll
What-
let you talk.
What name should I use?
Zeke.
Zeke
Just Zeke.
of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Mhm.
Very well.
And make sure no one else can overhear us talking about this.
Okay. You head over towards Pao Ming. As you approach, what are you thinking about?
I wish to make this introduction. I do not wish to mess it up for Zeke.
Okay.
And for me, it's I wonder if she's actually a psionicist.
Okay. So she stands there and yes. Are you enjoying your evening?
Very much so. Thank you, Miss Palming. I wish to offer a formal introduction to my master. This is Zeke. He is a wizard. And he is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Roll a persuasion check.
If I can find my sheet. My sheet.
Okay.
And that is how to
Her
get away from the dragon.
eyes
everybody.
just light up for a moment. And in Loic and your minds, interesting. We should speak more privately. You can be rest assured that a conversation here cannot be heard by anyone else. How may I aid you, Zeke of the Arcane Brotherhood? And she's effectively connected the three of your minds into a mental conversation.
Conference call.
What was that?
Conference call.
Yes, a conference call of telepathic communication.
I have reason to believe that the Golden Goose is facing a security threat of utmost importance.
Interesting.
I need to speak to you and the captain about it. There was a high-profile murder, and this is all telepathic.
Yeah.
There was a high-profile murder, and the Golden Goose is implicated with the leaving of a casino chip, and it was very far away from Waterdeep. And so we need to figure out, you and I and the captain need to figure out who may be attempting to instigate bad publicity for this place.
Okay. I can arrange a meeting, a private meeting for you VIPs with the captain himself. What, other than the reputation of the Golden Goose, what is it in it for me?
Well, I can evaluate you because we're very specific and particular about who we associate with. After an evaluation, if you are up to standards, I may be able to arrange an introduction. Not anytime too immediate, because we are doing this investigation and you will know soon why it has to take priority, but as soon as that's done.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check. You certainly are an interesting folk. All right. Head off to the relaxation room. I will call you forward towards the captain's room shortly. We cannot be seen to be walking through the casino together.
Agreed.
I will meet you there.
By the way, did you like your gift?
I did. I do not need it, but I know others that might.
Excellent. That's exactly why I thought you might like it. Good. All right. I'll
Appreciate it.
see you soon.
And with that, a connection disappears from within your minds, the telepathic bond that had been created by her. She immediately walks up the spiral staircase, up onto the second floor, away from you.
Quick question, Aaron.
Yes.
On the map, I see what appears to be an actual goose.
Yes, it is a actual golden goose right there at the base of the steps.
Does it appear to be actual gold, or is it...
Is it a statue or is it alive?
Oh,
It appears
Good question.
to be... Let me double check.
Does it lay golden eggs?
Roll an investigation check as you look over it. This is a gold-plated wooden statue of a goose. But in terms of size, I mean, it's a good 3-foot long gold-plated statue.
I look at it dismissively.
Gamble takes this opportunity to try to win back some money.
Okay. Well, by now, at this point, some of the staff have come up from underneath and have begun organizing games against the house. So at this point, you're no longer playing against some of the parties. You're playing to earn some chips from the house itself. Go ahead and use same thing again if you're going to use the same tactics. An insight and then a deception.
I'm not going to try to talk to people. I'm just going to quietly play the games and just use my insight and perception to just try and know what's going on and make the right moves.
Okay. I will take insight and perception. Okay. You manage to keep yourself aloft. I mean, you start with only 50 chips, but by the time these guys are heading off towards the relaxation room, you have tripled that up to 150.
There you go.
Only in the whole 33%.
Yep. A couple of the other guests have lost a couple chips. Most of your chips came from the house rather than other guests, though. All right.
I walk into the relaxation room, and I spot Aaron and Danrick.
Yes,
And
you do.
I give them a look, but I don't approach them or say anything.
Aaron's
As
gonna
I
carry
was-
on casually, and he's gonna mention to Danwick quickly about what he overheard about the captain, and he's gonna go, "You're a ship, aren't you? So, is your ship fairly notorious? Alright, could you have a conversation? Would he know of your ship? You guys have got something in common. Maybe you can bring up a conversation."
He might know of our ship, but we never met him directly. He had a reputation that he followed him more than actual interactions with him. So, our captain would talk about him, and some of the other older sailors might have known him when he was younger, but when it came to actually meeting him face to face, it was just rumors. You maybe see him walking or his ship passing by, and they say, "Oh, there's that guy with the octopus on his shoulder." And that's about it, though. So we could try, though.
Next time
I
he
could
comes
drop
down
some
for a
names.
drink, do you want to have a conversation with him? Drop some names?
Yeah, try it out. See how it goes.
Let's try that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the meantime, give you a sec. Are you okay here for a minute? I want to go check the lower quarters. I just want to have a look around.
Okay.
So you're welcome to head down the steps that are on the either side of the ship, down into the main quarters. So for your sake, I'll pull you across to there. Just immediately to your left, you can see the inside of the bowels of the ship. It is filled with staff that are rowing the ship, keeping it still. You can also see a couple of the staff moving their way through, collecting food items and making their way upstairs to aid the rest of the group. What is it you're looking for?
Aaron's he can't really look inconspicuous what he's wearing anymore, so he's gonna just look a little. He's gonna try and act a little bit queasy. I just feel like he looks a little bit seasick, and he's just trying to find a place to stop or walk it off. So he's just going to go down there and just and then have a glance around, see what's going on down here, and
You pause for a moment to sit and relax while you're heaving, and you feel this little patter of a hand on your back, and you look over, and it's one of the hands of the spider monkeys reaching out of the cage, just patting your back, giving it a little rub.
You were so good.
There's a look of recognition between you, and then you continue on with your stuff. Were you trying to?
Aaron's gonna use his beast sense to basically get a gauge on this monkey to see, is he a happy monkey? Does he like what he's doing?
You use your beast sense, and you realize that these aren't actual monkeys.
What?
Right.
They're apes. Oh my god.
No. They are the white ape, the tall white ape. There's something about the recognition between you and the monkey's mind that isn't primal.
Are they were-monkeys?
Aaron, yeah, because Aaron can change into bats and stuff, but he knows how it works. So his sort of back door is going to be this guy's been polymorphed, or yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna whisper, "Are you human? Are you a person?"
It doesn't speak, as this one can't, but you just see it look all over its body, and its arms drop. It just stares at you, eyes wide open.
Okay. Trap. Look, I can't do anything now. But we'll get you out of there.
At which point he looks to the other two cages next to his, the other two monkeys. Similar situation as them, and then looks up at you with this look of hope. He says, "Please."
I'll be back. Just don't upstage me too much later.
All right. You do get a sense that the underside of this ship is just a staff room. There's nothing interesting down here.
Well, do you want to see where the taskmaster is for the people, the guy that the evil guy that was looking after the monkeys? Is he down?
He is not down here, actually. Not right now. You walk around a bit and you see that he is actually enjoying the rain out on the front of the ship, on the main deck, up where Gamel is currently. Actually,
Gamel has a tankard of ale and he's gone out. How hard is it raining, and is there any sort of pavilion out there?
There's no pavilion at this point, so the rain is just hammering down. You are soaked the moment you step out into the rain.
So how is that hair dye?
If he's it's permanent dye. So if Gamel steps out, but he's still like right by the door they're in overhang there, or is it just
Yeah,
straight drenched?
with the way that the wind is blowing, there is some room there for you to be able to.
Because if he could be just out enjoying some air, having lost money and not doing very well, but just to enjoy it, he would be there. If it's genuinely just foul weather, he'd stay inside.
Standing in a doorway, you'd be fine.
All right,
You're
so
all
let's just be like in a doorway.
You do notice, though, that the ship, even though this storm is going on outside, the ship is perfectly still in its platform. It's not waving. It's not shifting in any particular way. Aaron, what are you doing?
Okay, well, I'll tell the monkeys I'll be back. But for the meantime, I haven't seen him up on the deck, I dare say. So I'm going to carry on walking south, and I won't come up on the other staircase. Just have a look around, see if there's anything else I can see.
Okay. Roll a perception check, just to be safe. There's nothing extra interesting. You can get to know some of the people, some of the staff, but their stories are quite uninteresting. Most of them are owned by the Zentarim. Not that they are employees of, they are slaves of the Zentarim that are working on this ship in order to earn money for them.
Okay.
This is a happy place. This is a great place.
They slave people as monkeys. That's not.
Aaron might say to one of them, "You been here long? Been on the ship for a while?"
A couple. I've been on 3 rides. It's been about 2 months.
How come no one's allowed up top?
That's just for the captain and his crew. No one goes up there. No one would have any purpose to be up there.
So is it at all? Let's go serve them some drinks. He keeps coming down. Well, surely we can go up there and take drinks to him.
They help themselves. We've always been told not to go up there.
Okay. Thanks for your help.
Anytime.
Get back into it.
Okay. All right. So by which point we're going to go back to the relaxation room. Danrik, you're having a wonderful time.
Oh, of course.
Enjoying yourself, relaxing, talking with some of the other people in the VIP lounge. A couple nobles that are in there at various different locations have all made their way in. Pao Ming steps down to the bottom of the staircase, and all of the nobles just immediately stop what they're doing, stand up, and begin to walk out of the VIP area. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, jeez. This is not one of my strong suits.
Okay. You feel that you are being commanded to leave. You hear this voice in your mind that is attempting to control you and telling you, get out. And that happened just a moment before all of the other people in unison stood up and started to walk out onto the deck. What do you do?
So first, the voice I hear, did it sound familiar? Like I heard her speaking when we were coming in. Was I able to?
It sounds like it's her voice.
Okay. How big are these? Is there space under these tables and such where I could hide?
For a creature like you? Yeah. Possibly.
I'm going to try it then.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check. Right. You almost, you make it look like a performance. You start to stand up and then you're a little bit woozy. You drop on your feet as if you'd fallen down drunk and then hide underneath the table very quickly. She doesn't think twice about you, but knowing what you know of her skills, what are you thinking about?
Well, I think he's going to do the best he can to keep his mind clear. Because if everybody's leaving, he needs to not be a presence. And if he's a presence in his mind, which I don't know what kind of save that would be to try to shut down that.
Okay. So
He's trying to think about nothing, which I know there's got to be a roll involved for that.
There has to be. I would say intelligence or wisdom save. You get to pick.
Not a charisma save?
Not a charisma save.
Still half marshmallow time.
Yeah. Well, they're the same, so he's going to try to be smart about it. Okay. Oh, no!
Yeah. She steps up towards your table. I know you're still underneath there. I told you to leave. I'm impressed by your fortitude. Now, leave before I do something untoward.
Wait, well, why do we need to leave? What's going on?
I need to have a private meeting within this lounge, and you're not invited.
I'm gonna say, like, look, I'm not gonna snoop. I'm not gonna tell anybody. It's very relaxing in here. It's very comfortable. I swear, I'll be on the wall. It's too many people. The performance was so good. They're all talking to me. I need to take a break. So ready and refreshed and recharged and ready to go. So when we go back on stage, all is well. I mean, you understand. You want everybody to be happy on the boat, and I want to make sure we do the best we can. It's our first time here. I don't want to disappoint anybody.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, gosh.
As she intends on bearing down onto your mind. She's a psychic. And you're... All right.
But I can be persuading her.
You see a modicum of frustration enter her mind. This is now the second person she has attempted and failed to penetrate tonight. She... Stay down here. Okay. She stands there waiting. She sees Artir. And will Loic be joining shortly?
Yeah, as he's passing through the room, he's going to send a telepathic message to any of his cohorts that he recognizes without looking at them, or a peripheral, because he has to look at them. But I'm going to tell him that stuff's going down. I'm about to have a meeting with Dryland and Palming.
Oh, since Artir's in there, while I'm now sitting by myself, I'm going to try to, make eyes with him or something. I know we can't, I'm not going to be able to get him to let me go up there necessarily, but just to, make eyes I'm here. Keep me aware. I'm right by the stairs. Whatever this is, because you didn't get up and walk out, but with my eyes. As much as that's possible. With my glittery makeup and everything.
Roll a performance check.
Ooh, I can do that.
Artir, you have no idea what he's just staring at you intently. You've never seen... He's looking at you. This is a little bit awkward. Maybe you need to have a conversation with Danric at another time. But now is not the place.
I will say to Palming, he is a very fine fiddler. I will give him that.
Okay. As Loic steps into the entryway, Palming nods in his direction, and begins to walk up the spiral staircase. Not necessarily looking back.
I'll follow.
Artir and Loic follow. Danric, what you doing?
I think Danric is going to let them go a little bit ahead, but still try to follow behind.
Okay. So, immediately to the right, pull those of interest. I'll pull Danric in a moment. So Danric, stay in the room you're in. She walks Artir up the steps and Loic following. And you see at the top of the steps that the room is filled with the crew. All stood there almost at attention surrounding the spiral staircase. All of them with pikes or scimitars ready to go already. And the stumbling attitude that you had seen previously by some of those that were making their way down is obviously all a farce, because these guys are perfectly attuned to what's going on. She gives a little nod to one of the guards there. I need Danrik, if you are intending to follow. Same again, stealth check, and then an intelligence save to try and keep your mind clear so that she doesn't notice you.
Maybe this is a bad idea. Well, I think I'm actually going to stay down here. And so
Okay.
I'm going to stay put because his intelligence he's not that smart.
Okay. Well, she leads the two of you down the corridor towards a door. It's about halfway down.
Can we chit chat while we walk?
Of course you can.
So I'm gonna ask, what extent do your psionics reach? I know that you can read minds, but
my reach is not that great, but the things I can do within the small distance is quite profound.
yeah, I know a little bit myself. It's a very rare art to come across in the world.
It is. I had a good teacher.
From your country?
From a faraway land.
I too had a very good teacher from a faraway land.
Don't we all?
All of us psionicists, anyways.
Yes. Please keep to your business while you're in there. Casper is the captain, but he is an old man.
Mm-hmm.
And we need him to helm the ship back to Waterdeep in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So please.
You're coming too, though, right? Or do you need to get back downstairs?
I need to be downstairs. I need to oversee everything else. There are cheaters down there that I will be executing in the morning. So I need to get all the evidence I can.
If you do not mind having the company, if we finish up here early, I wouldn't mind talking to you a little bit more. I'll come to you.
Very well. There will always be people to watch. And she beckons you to enter the door. She knocks on it, and the door just opens for you, leading into Casper Dryland's private sanctum. Stepping into his room, you see that the room is actually lifted ever so slightly above all of the others, and he has a window at the front. This is where the helm of the ship is up against the wall is a large round helm. Glass separates the outside to the inside of his room, but on the opposite side is a very nice looking hammock next to a table and chairs. But in the center of the room, almost worshipped like an altar in its position, is a huge fish tank with Dryland's octopus inside it. He stood there at the helm. Yes, Palming said you must speak with me.
Before anything happens, I'd like to use Assess Foe on the octopus to learn its current hit point total,
Assess foe?
its immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. I want to see if that's actually what it appears to be.
Is that a psionic thing?
Yes.
Assess foe.
Yep.
All right. Do you just gain that information, or do you have to make a check?
I just gained that information. As a bonus action, you analyze the aura of one of the creatures you see. You learn its current hit point total, all of its immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. But psi points are a very, very limited resource in and of itself, so there's your limitation.
Okay. Cool. So give me 1 second to pull that stuff up.
What level psionic is Loic?
2. This is aura sight, the discipline.
Yeah, Its hit point total is 3. It is an octopus.
Okay. All right. Because that could have been actual Casper, and something happened with his brain, which is what I was thinking.
The octopus is definitely just an ordinary octopus.
Well, how boring.
I know, right? So, Casper is like, come on now. Speak up. I haven't got all night.
And a falcon staring at the octopus hungrily.
I ask, I clear my throat. Loic, would you like me to do the talking, or would you like to do the talking?
Telepathically, I'm like, don't call me Loic right now. I'll do it. Captain Dryland, we've been investigating a high-profile murder, and someone has attempted to instigate the incorporation of your business. We found a chip far, far away from the Golden Goose on the body of the deceased. And I spoke to Pao Ming, and we would like to attempt to follow this lead, but we want to do it with respect. Utmost subtlety. And I figure since your business is implicated, you'd want to do this as well.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if my business is implicated, I need to know what it is you are investigating.
You're familiar with storm giants.
Yes.
Well, something within their royal lineage has happened. Very unfortunate circumstance. So we're just trying to find the culprits, see why, what, anything, information.
My men have nothing to do with giants, and none of my people would have even carried a chip on them. Must have been a guest or something that kept it chipped as a souvenir.
Right. That's also my thinking, because why would you guys just leave it lying around if you guys were the culprits? So that's what I'm saying, is that someone's trying to frame you. So we need to figure out which guest that is, which person that is.
How long ago did this happen? How long have you been on this hunt?
Months. I want to say the event actually took place just over 6 months ago.
He turns around, leaving the helm, puts his hand neatly on the end of his very ornate, shiny-looking sword. It is a shame. Someone is trying to undermine everything I have worked towards. What do you need from me?
Just need your permission to understand what we're doing on this vessel and to be able to investigate quietly as we see fit. If an altercation occurs, if someone is on to me in my investigation and they make a break for it, perhaps it is in both of our interests to apprehend them.
So your intention is to just interrogate the passengers?
Not interrogate, observe.
Observe.
And only interrogation if absolutely necessary, only if we have something.
Can I insight him?
Of course you can insight him.
I'd like to do the same.
Go ahead.
And I'll switch my psionic focus to gain advantage with it.
Okay.
Which...
Arte, he is definitely hiding something. He seems... The fact that he is focusing so much on you question the passengers. That's fine. He seems to be almost defensive of the crew. Loic doesn't sense this.
I will let the conversation continue, uninterrupted.
Will you allow us to also observe the uppermost deck here?
should be no commoners up here that could warrant such interrogation. It is just my crew up here. There is none others, and my crew are exempt from your questioning.
How long have you known your crew?
I've sailed with these men for years. They've been with me for years, and I trust each of them with my life.
Okay.
You, however, are brand new, and I do not trust you.
I wouldn't trust me either. I mean, have you seen me? Despite that, I am bringing you this thing that you would not have otherwise known about. And what possible purpose, untoward purpose, could I have with that? Making you aware.
At this moment, I bull rush towards him with my teeth exposed. I lay my hands on him. Tell me what you know. We know you are hiding something. Arr!
In the moment that you just start running towards him, something breaks inside of him. He falls on the floor before you even grab hold of him. He is just terrified of you, as this guy's hit point maximum is 3. Terrible.
Is he the octopus?
No, he's not.
No way.
But, he's weak. He immediately just starts. Please don't. I'll tell you everything. Just let me live. Let me have my ship, please.
I pat him gently and pick him up, and keep on going up, and keep on going up. Very well. Start talking.
I represent an order known as the Order of the Kraken. We kidnapped King Hecaton. He is currently being held on the Morkoth. It is difficult to find, but it is circling the trackless sea. You will find it there.
I look over to Lork. Exactly as I suspected.
Casper, why?
I couldn't do it. You see his eyes almost glaze over. No, please don't. Not to me.
Oh, dispel. Can
He
I dispel?
grabs his head and his eyes begin to bleed.
I can't
His
dispel
mind
this?
is, you cannot dispel this. His mind is being exploded from the inside. When his body stops quivering, you hear a voice speak out of the dead body. A heavy, deep, bellowing voice that reminds you, reminiscent of powers you've not witnessed in a while. You will not survive if you try to follow this path. Children. And then it disappears. The body of Casper Dryland is spent, eyes wide open, staring up into the sky.
Right there.
Did you hear that voice, or was that just me hearing that voice?
No, I heard it. What do I know about the Order of the Kraken?
Roll a history check. Chances are they worship a kraken.
Wow. What insight.
Okay.
What
do
you
I know?
do know. What were you going to ask? Sorry.
What do I know about krakens and dragons and their relationship?
Go ahead and roll another history check. We'll just use this one. Okay, there we go. So there isn't really much, like, historically that is the connection between krakens and dragons. However, krakens, even in this world where mythical beasts are a thing, Krakens are considered to be mythical. No one alive that you know of has ever actually witnessed and seen a Kraken themselves. The amount of immense power that matches the descriptions that people have talked about is earth-shattering, should that kind of creature exist. And however that managed to get involved in the capture of King Hecaton is beyond you. But you do know, you heard quite clearly that Casper mentioned that the ship known as the Morkoth, and I will type that into the chat, Morkoth, is sailing around the Isles of the Trackless Sea. And with that bit of information, we will go to a break for 15 minutes. Be back in 15, everyone. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. So, we return right into the heat of the action. Caspar Dryland has just died, having been frightened into revealing the location of King Hecaton. He is on some ship known as the Morkoth that appears to be sailing around the Isles of the Trackless Sea. Shortly after having given that message, some entity took over Dryland's mind, destroyed him from the inside out before animating to share a warning to those in front of the body. Almost as soon as the body goes limp and quiet again, the door bursts open as Pao Ming comes running inside. What did you do? My connection with him broke. What?
We asked him a question, and then his eyes began to sizzle, and I went to dispel whatever was ailing him, and I couldn't, and there wasn't even a connection with it. And then he appeared to stop moving, and then another voice happened. Something possessed him.
And he claimed affiliation to a kraken.
A kraken?
I've heard it both ways.
What do we do?
Sorry.
Okay, calm down.
I don't know what to do.
Take a breath.
He was the captain. Without him, I don't know how to sail the ship.
You
Where's
guys have
the
a
crew?
navigator or anything?
The crew are just hired guards. The ship is enchanted. It'll stay afloat, but he's the only one that mans the helm.
All right. Does he need to be attuned to it? Do other people need to attune to it? I know someone that might be able to help.
She goes silent for a moment. You both feel physically that she is probing into your mind, attempting to get as much information as she can. Go ahead, both of you roll wisdom saves.
You know, I think I'm actually going to be willing because I'm freaked out too, and I think she's on our side. Well,
Okay.
I guess not, since DM freaking laughed at that.
No, I'm laughing at Artir.
Artir rolled a 1.
All right.
If it
You just killed
fails,
the
you
man with
gain
his words.
insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. So, you know, Artir, that she has penetrated into your mind. In that moment, you see an image pass through. You know that she knows the truth. And she just stares at you wide-eyed and then looks back at Loic. You're also willing, Loic?
Yeah, because I want her on my team, and I'm trying to get her into the Arcane Brotherhood, so as far as I'm concerned, we're partners.
She looks back and forth between the two of you.
You all right?
Loic, you feel in her mind that there is a sense of trust, like in your mind, that as she's probing in, she feels that trust and she knows that what you're speaking of is true, that you guys didn't kill Caspar. Okay. I can keep the crew happy for a time, but they will expect an update soon. I think we should return to safety and do so now.
All right. I'll go get someone who can navigate.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Would we like to have a look around the room in case there are things in here that may help us with Hecaton?
Okay, if that's the case, then can you please go contact the person downstairs that we met?
Sure. And I put my arm out for Pao Ming. Would you join me?
I need to send one quick question.
Oh snap! Who's it gonna? Whose boxes is it gonna show up in? Who's the question going to?
Whispers.
Whispers, whispers, whispers.
Jace, I suppose that is true.
And yay or nay?
Jew would know. Jew would know if this is what would happen there.
Oh, you get to see what... Did Loic get to see what I sent to Artir?
Did you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just I got a response
Oh.
from Loic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. I got excited.
Because I said that we will play it out as is, she holds her hand out and stares at Loic the entire time as she walks out of the room.
Okay, I'm
What
gonna
are you
investigate.
doing with... Okay, so while you're investigating Artir, Pao Ming is not attempting to pry into your mind at this time. What are you doing?
What did you see?
Forgive me, I didn't mean to see it. I was just trying to see the truth. I didn't mean to see that.
Can I insight to see if she's acting afraid or if she's actually afraid?
Roll an insight check. She is frightened. She is under the condition of frightened of you.
This is what we're going to do. You are going to keep everyone happy. Nothing has changed. We are going to guide this boat back into the harbor. We are going to return sooner than expected. You will apologize to everyone for the inconvenience, but you will tell them it is for their safety. Do we have an understanding?
Yes. Absolutely. Anything.
Very good. You may be on your way.
Loic, I need an investigation check from you. Okay. So in his room, amongst the various things that you can see, there are navigational charts of the sea, which would be useful for anyone attempting to sail any sort of ship. So you can grab those. And they are absolutely complete. He has sailed the seas throughout Faerun all his life, and there is very little of the sea that has not been charted by him. So he has a very complete map of the oceans. You also see, just because it shines quite nicely, his sword is probably worth a couple thousand gold, with just how many diamonds and gems that are encrusted into the hilt. But other than that, there's not really anything worthwhile within his room.
I'm gonna leave him with his sword, thinking that he was once a great adventurer. He will likely want to be buried with it, and that's like if this all happened to me, I wouldn't want them to take my cubic gate. So.
Okay.
Leave it with him.
Was it? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Sorry. I'll have to figure out some other way. So, Artir, after Pao Ming leaves you and returns to she immediately goes down to the people at the main floor, and
Which stairway does she come down? The front or the back?
the back stairwell
Okay.
is where she comes down from. She mingles around the crowd, and anyone that is watching the main deck right now sees all of the people get a little complacent and relax. Their minds soften for a moment as they continue what they're doing, but almost out of muscle memory rather than actually caring to do anything. Once she's made a pass through the ship, she returns up the other staircase towards where the crew are, where she will attempt to do the same thing to the actual crew of the ship. What are you guys doing in the meantime?
Right, I see Gal outside, and I'm gonna. Gal,
Yes.
okay?
My name's Dirk. But yeah, what's up?
Dirk. English. You seen anything? You okay?
So the lady who gives out the chips, she came in here, and Artir and Loic followed her upstairs. And Danrik is still in there, and I haven't seen that since. Loic would tell us if there were a problem, so I assume things must be going okay for them. How about you? What have you been doing?
Just taking a look at it upon the ship. Found something interesting.
Yeah, what's that?
I've done some monkeys.
Those were very interesting dancing monkeys.
They're not monkeys.
They're apes. It's a common mistake.
They're people.
They're in costumes?
No, they've been polymorphed into monkeys. By the looks of it, as far as I can tell, I'm not. I'd have to get Roper to have a look.
Look. Until we hear otherwise, I guess we're just hanging out down here. Show me.
Okay, so all right. Aaron's going to muster him downstairs. Is the guy still about?
He's actually stood on the bow of the ship, peeing off the side at this point.
Wow.
Classy fella.
Classiest.
So the two of you head down into the lower ship, where you can see all of the crew, similar fashion as all of the guests now. At this point, all of those working on rowing the ship they've slowed down a little bit, but their eyes are fixed open, and they're almost robotic in the way that they are behaving.
How are the monkeys?
The monkeys are freaking out. Grabbing the cage, throwing it about, trying to break it open, but they can't.
Right, guys, calm down.
I'm gonna go down and look at them.
Do you want?
And I'm just gonna look at them and be like, "What happened to these guys?" I say that aloud.
You any good at charades? Look, guys, girls, can you tell us? Clap your hand once for yes, clap your hands twice for no. Are you people?
I need to double check. True.
I mean, what's a people anyway? Is that humans? Is that...
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to say humans. It's kind of racist.
Are you a race featured in the player's handbook? Don't bother asking what that is exactly.
He responds with a clap. No, 1 clap for yes, 2 claps for no, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. How long? No, question. Just no questions. Yeah. Have you been trapped on this ship longer than a month? Less than a year. Okay. Right. Matthew, can't hear you.
Thank you. Gamel's going to ask, so like, how did this happen or when did this happen? And though he does not know that he's doing it, he's going to try to communicate and get access to that memory from him.
okay. So you push your focus into this creature's mind. Do you need to make? You don't need to make any check for that, do you?
No, if it's willing, I get it. If it's unwilling, I don't.
It resists for a moment, but then it lets you past. You see a memory of 3 children, a boy and 2 girls, probably roughly the age of about 14, bought at a slave auction because they impressed an individual with acrobatic skills. Shortly thereafter, this individual, who you know to be the taskmaster of this little troop, had a very powerful magician, 3 of them in particular, polymorph these creatures into the monkeys that you see. They have been that way for about 6 months.
So Gamel's going to turn around without talking to Aaron and march right back up the steps. And please tell me the guy is still peeing off the front of the deck.
Mug in one hand.
Gamel's going to change. Gamel's going to change his psionic focus to brute force, and he's going to walk up behind the guy and throw him overboard.
Now, there's windows outside of the room that I'm in, it looks like, on the map.
Yes.
Do I see this happen?
You see Gamel or Dirk stepping up with intense focus, reeling back, and then without actually even touching the guy, you see this wave of force energy just knock him off the ship. He goes a good, clear 30 foot off into the distance, and there's a big splash as he hits the water. Go ahead and roll damage for that.
Let's see, for brute strength, brute force. Well, do you want me to hit him with, it's my fists, I guess. I mean, what's that, like a D4?
2.
Yeah, 1d4 and...
D2.
No, you're not proficient in unarmed strikes, so it's just 1 plus your strength modifier. So what's your strength mod?
3. My strength mod's 2, so
2.
1 plus is
3 points of damage.
Plus, I guess if I
takes-
use my brute force, I can add a 1d6 of damage for
Okay.
using for
Go
a
ahead and
melee
roll.
attack used on my turn.
Go ahead and roll 1d6. Okay, so the force of your whack in the back of him dealt 3 points. The energy from the focus made it 7, and his collision with the water topped it up to 10. This guy smacks in, and a moment later he resurfaces back, floating in the water as it passes past the ship. Face down, obviously killed by the impact.
I feel better.
Aaron's going to grab him and goes, I had the mind to do that myself. I just didn't want to draw that much attention to us right now.
It's dark, it's rainy, everyone's inside. Nobody saw it.
And secondly, what
Can
the
I roll an insight check to see if anybody saw that?
Did you notice Danric just watching?
Roll a perception check.
Did Aaron do that as well? Because he's going to be like, what the hell?
I rolled a 1.
All right. Gamel, you are adamant no one saw.
Nobody saw this.
Nobody saw.
Nobody saw it.
You were completely stealthy. Aaron, your eyes immediately turn to the window and you see there is Danrik. He saw exactly what happened. But you do not see anyone else that happened to see what had happened.
He's going to go, thank God, and he's going to gesture Danrik to get out here. And then he's going to go back to Gamble and go, secondly, what the was that? I thought you didn't know magic. You didn't even touch him.
No, I touched him. I totally touched him. I hit him.
Totally
I pushed him over. He was halfway there.
You weren't even within 5 feet of him.
I'm gonna try a deception check to convince him that I just pushed him. Contested roll.
Insight check against a 6.
Good luck, Aaron. Oh.
Yeah. Aaron, you do know. You trust Gamel. You've become a team, friends.
Yep.
You've also spent enough time around Loic to know that Gamel does have an aversion to magic, and so you can be fairly certain this isn't magic. But you also know that Loic has, as of recently, over the past couple months, shown a proclivity to psionic powers. So whatever power Gamel had in that, yes, it wasn't physical, but it also wasn't magical. So it must have been something else. And your mind just kind of switches to maybe he's psionic.
I don't really remember, Aaron. We were talking to the trying to talk to the monkeys, and I just understood that they're like 14 or 15, like just really young, and that guy turned them into the monkeys. And
How did you understand
I don't
that?
really.
I was getting them to say yes and no questions.
Right, but the claps, there was a nuance to the claps. Like it was just like, I don't know.
Excuse me. You are saying there was no magic?
Maybe the monkeys were polymorphed. Maybe they have some sort of telepathy. I don't know. I just understood it.
Damn it! You saw that? That was no physical contact. You saw that, didn't you, Derek?
That is true. There was no physical contact.
Well, maybe he was already falling over because he was drunk, and my push just got him out.
No, he wasn't.
No, and you're telling me you're man, those claps did not give you that information.
They were just clapping, and then I just understood it.
You read their mind,
or they told me.
You must have
Loic's in our mind all the time. I don't know where that came from. They might have told me. I don't know. I didn't tell you. Maybe they're like dwarves.
You can't do magic, but you forced that guy off with some force. Is there anything I've seen is Loic's abilities?
I don't know. Maybe it was
sure you're not the same as him.
Maybe Moradin is give me some. I don't know. Point being, good riddance to bad news. And where is Loic? Speaking of those two.
Speaking of those two, as we fade to the rest of the party, Loic and Artir. Did you return to Loic's side when you left Pao Ming, or did you go seek out the rest of the party?
No, I meant to go downstairs and find Danrik first, but yeah, that was the goal was to find a captain for the ship.
Okay, so almost at the exact moment when Gamel says, "Where is Loic anyway?" you walk around the corner.
There has been a development.
Oh yeah, there has been.
You wouldn't believe it, yeah.
Did you know the monkeys are people?
That explains so much. They moved very coordinated like. This is very intriguing. Tell me more.
They're child slaves, more effectively.
I am happy to learn these things. I have news myself. let me bring you guys upstairs. Let's. I think I have the run of the place now. Just follow me
Do we need
upstairs.
to get out of the port? Do we
Give
need
me
to, is there a problem? Do we got to get anything out of the hole, out of the portable hole?
I do not think so. Just follow me up the stairs.
Aaron's going to go. Give me one
And
second,
so-
and he's going to go downstairs and grab the cages with the monkeys in them.
Yes. Can we
Okay.
put the monkeys in the portable hole? Is
That
that
won't be able to
suffocate.
breathe.
They won't be able to breathe.
Suffocate.
okay?
I'll go down with
We've
them.
done that.
'Cause these are kind of biggish cages, right?
Maybe a foot cubes, 2 foot cubes kind of deal.
2 foot. Aaron's just. He's strong. He's going to just grab all 3. He's going to try and bundle them and take them all
Easily.
upstairs.
Gamel's just gonna grab the portable hole, pull out his gun, and offer to shoot out the locks.
Aaron should have brought his thieves' tools, and he's feeling a bit silly that he didn't. Can't pick the lock.
Did you? So the thieves' tools aren't in the hole.
They weren't in the hole. I didn't put them.
Is it possible to do like a check at a disadvantage in order to?
It is possible to attempt.
Yeah, well,
anything.
yes.
You could
wait, how
try
these-
to quietly use the butt of the guns to be able to break off the locks. You can.
How are these? How are these cages? Are they just simple like straight bars up that kind of meet like a bird cage?
No, these are literally cubes of metal that wired together.
So you can like with enough strength just like bend the bars apart.
Absolutely, but the monkeys just don't have the strength to be able to do that.
Aaron's
And they
gonna
can't fit
Aaron's going to pull the bars apart.
through. Okay,
Gamel's gonna help. We'll just
go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Ooh, I want to
I-
try it too.
I still got my focus on the brute force, which gives me a advantage on athletic checks.
Okay, all right, so you go ahead. So Aaron takes one and breaks it open. The monkey jumps out right onto his shoulder. Gamel grabs one, breaks it apart. Again, monkey jumps out straight onto his shoulder. The third monkey is getting excited.
We should
That's
leave that
right.
one there. Just in case we-
Goes to pull. The monkey jumps, but the bars haven't been pulled. The monkey hits into the iron and falls back down, a little bit dazed and confused, as you failed to break open the cage.
That's all right, Dad.
So
It's all right.
sorry.
I know you gave it your best, and Aaron will
Right.
go and do
He-
it all.
Goes in and just kind of, there we go. And the monkey's able to reach out and sit on your shoulder, Danric. It's a little confused. Its head is spinning a little bit, but
All right,
each
guys.
spider monkey on your shoulder.
We can't
Go
take
ahead.
you back quite now, but just stick with us, and we've got somebody that can. So
They're all reached around your necks, holding firmly onto the side of your heads, desperately.
Right.
All right, follow me, men.
You take the rest of the party and you make a point to use the back stairs, just because there's not a group of crew members stood around the back stairs. At the top of the stairs, you can see that, and I will pull the 3 of you up. Pao Ming is stood back. Where did I put her? There she is. Pao Ming has returned to standing, almost like standing guard, in front of the door to the captain's chambers. And each time a member of the crew walks up to the door, he just turns around and walks back. You 3, 4 of you now. The 4 of you make your way up the stairs, and she nods at Artir, assumes these are with you, and opens the door, lets all of you into the room, and she then follows. Gamel, Aaron, and Danric, this is the first time you see and find out, oh, the captain is dead.
While they've all been down there doing stuff, I would like to have experimented a little bit with the octopus, if it's still alive and around. I wanted to try to befriend it and then
It
put
now
it on
has
my
300
shoulder.
hit points and is level 15.
Roll an animal handling check.
Is our achievement this session for us all to have an animal on our shoulder by the time we leave it?
Well, I've already got a
it's already
falcon.
got a falcon.
So if we can get it on Archer's shoulder, we win.
Bonus XP for that.
That's a good roll for me.
That is a very good roll for you. It's nervous. It's willing to climb up onto your hand and kind of greet you, but it's not quite willing to leave the cage with you yet. You would have to spend a bit more time working with the octopus, getting it used to you before it would leave the sanctity of its cage.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're in there. Pao Ming just looks at you all. Okay.
So, Captain's dead.
Jace, before we get to that, amazing,
Let's get to that. Actually,
fantastic fiddler, or Mr. Fiddler,
The fiddler, thank you.
Mr. the
Fiddle me
Fiddler.
this.
I believe you have some facility with sailing vessels, and I direct to the helm. Did you think you could bring this ship back into port?
It takes him a second to realize what exactly you're asking, and then he's like, "Oh, yes." Cracks his knuckles.
Now, Danrik, from your
Aaron's going to grab a
perspective,
table and he's going to drag it right next to the helm.
there we
So-
go.
Well, the helm.
Because the helm is just in front of a window that's quite high up. Yeah, you stand on. Now, the helm itself
so
is
is this-
at your feet, but you can now see through the window, so you could actually see the
Oh,
sea.
good.
Okay.
All right. Just take a moment to absorb this sight because it's been a long time since he's really looked at the sea from the helm of the ship, and it's something nice.
I know a bit of sailing. I can sail like smaller vessels. Tell
Here,
me.
Aaron, come here. Take a look at these maps that I found. Maybe you can help me plot a course back.
It is like the middle of the night already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been out for a couple hours. I'd say it's about 1 o'clock in the morning by now.
Right.
I say to Pao Ming, just you can see we have everything well in hand.
Yes, you do, sir.
You go ahead and keep up your admirable work along the rest of the ship.
Absolutely. I
Thank
will do as commanded. Thank you for. Thank you. And she steps out and continues working.
Do I notice she's afraid of Artier?
Yeah,
Roll an insight check.
Aaron's going to take that as well. Can I do an insight on that?
She looks terrified of Artir. Loic, Gamel, you both notice it. Aaron doesn't. He's focused on the maps.
Yeah.
Telepathically, I'd like to ask her before she leaves completely. Would you be willing to tell me why you're afraid of my friend? He didn't act intimidating towards you, not like he usually does. So what did you see?
Roll a persuasion check. I saw a moment in his past. It showed great pain and power, and I'm afraid of that power. That's all.
Thanks. That's enough.
That would be enough.
So,
All right. What happened
guys have
was
the ship.
what happened was we were having a very casual conversation, and suddenly the captain fessed up to everything. He is responsible for kidnapping Hecaton. I don't know if he confessed to the murder, but he
He said he
seemed
was part of an order called the Order of the Kraken.
Jess.
Order of the Kraken.
What he
I'm
said.
sure you were just conversing, and he just decided to tell you all these things.
I'm gonna
Jess?
roll to see if Danrik's ever heard of the Order of the Kraken. Given his history, he probably has not.
Either history or religion. It's up to you.
They're both the same. So, I think where's
Come
Yeah,
on,
they're the
that's
same.
20 for Gamel.
I'll do religion then. Why not?
No.
No. No.
I mean, you know of the mythological
Yeah.
creatures that are krakens, but no, you've never heard of an order.
Okay.
So anyway, they're keeping Hecaton in a ship that is sailing around the Isles of the Trackless Sea.
No, just the Trackless Sea, not the Isles.
Why would they
Okay.
keep him on a boat?
Can Aaron see where the Trackless Sea is on the map?
Yes, you can, because the map is quite complete. Let me find it on the map that we have here.
Danrick, looking at all these charts, I don't suppose there's one that just says where this boat is there?
Where's the Trackless Sea?
Where we are right now. Well,
Well, we've got all these charts here, the captain's charts. I don't suppose one of them just says where King Hecaton is.
oh,
That's
I don't know if
somewhat
you would have marked
facetious.
that. Yeah.
I think that we should return to Sarissa with that information to have her help us with the
We could blow
whole
that horn
ocean
from
thing.
the con-
Yeah, sure.
We may be able to tell her via the conch.
Did we bring the conch? No, we haven't.
Is it in the locker or is it in the hole?
It's in the locker in the fort.
Oh, that was okay.
Okay. It is. My map does not actually have the location of the Trackless Sea. 1 second.
Really?
I've
The
just
Trackless
realized.
Sea is just above the Sea of Swords and to the
Yeah, just everything to
Yeah.
everything to the north and west of the Sea of Swords is the Trackless
Yeah.
Sea.
I just realized that my map, the map that I had prepared to show you, doesn't actually have the Trackless Sea on it. It stops at the Sea of Swords. So it is northeast. You figure, according to like your history, best bet would probably to head towards Luskin and then head west out into the ocean.
Or
And you would probably find it.
go get our airship and head that way. The airship's in a convenient location, actually, because it's just east of
by
Luskin. Yeah.
But we wish to bring this ship back so we do not run afoul of the Zentarium. But there is one more thing. As the captain passed away to his final slumber, we were met with an ominous warning. A guttural voice told us that we would find death if we continued down this path.
Aaron. It sounded demonic.
Yay. It's my specialty.
Loic,
Okay, guys.
the monkeys are people.
And I'm
Fascinating.
sure Roper doesn't want them all knowing Kane's name. Let's keep the information down. These are kids. They don't need to know. Let's get back.
All right.
So Danrick starts working, getting the ship turned around. Takes you a bit of time, but you do have proficiency in sea vehicles, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So you work for a while. This ship is actually very responsive to you.
Great.
It's wonderful. It's almost like your commands are tied into the very magic of the ship. And eventually you make your way closer towards the harbor of Waterdeep.
So we've been sailing for like several hours out, and then we have to do the same back, right?
Not quite. You sailed for about 3 hours out and then sailed in large circles, large enough that it wasn't noticeable by individuals, and then just need to sail 3 hours back. So you would arrive back in Waterdeep approximately 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, Gamel doesn't feel like he's contributing much right here, and he needs to earn him some money back, so he's going to go back and hit the tables for 3 hours.
And I'm going to return to Pao Ming's side and help her secure the place and keep it docile, and at the end of the night, turning in everybody's chips, making sure everything runs accordingly.
Aaron will assist Danrick in steering the boat.
Okay. Loic, go ahead and roll just a charisma check. Just straight up charisma. Nice. 0. Cool. You and Pao Ming get along quite well throughout the time. She reveals to you that the necklace that she wears allows her to amplify her psionic abilities. It's a very powerful item. One such that would allow any psionic ability that targets a specific number of creatures. This thing allows her to target 3 times as many. So if it's 1 creature, it's 3, and
Wow.
so on. Very precious item. It was something that was given to her by her master, who taught her psionics. She seems to enjoy it here on the ship, and you learn that while she was not associated in any way to the Order of the Kraken, she was using the ship just purely for its connections and its hope to join the Arcane Brotherhood. She does express concern that she's not sure what will happen to the ship without a captain, because the casino is pretty much all she had, and she was pretty good at it. So she's a bit lost.
Well, we've been talking about it, and it looks like we will be headed to Luskin after this. So if you want to come with us, then that would enable me to introduce you to the Brotherhood. Word of warning, though, even if you are a talented spellcaster, your psionics will be a boon to them. They'll want to pick your brain about that, but they still require some kind of item to prove that you're committed to them and that you're not just in it for your own game. You have to give something up.
Perhaps it's best I go searching for an item that would be worthy, and I contact you when I have found something.
That'll work. In the meantime, we're probably going to give the ownership. Well, I'm assuming we're going to go tell the Zentarum about what has taken place on the ship, because most of their staff fill the place, so it seems mostly under their control, without any kind of. They're the second in command, essentially. Mm. So we're going to go let them know, and they'll probably resume, because it's just such a money draw that they'll probably want to keep it up.
As the boat comes into port, you see her push out the last of her psionic energy for the night, and all of the guests stand up, walk towards her single file, and return all of the chips that she had given out, and do not receive anything in return, and they leave the ship.
Well, prior to that, how many chips did I win back?
Go ahead and make the 2 skill checks that you're going to use.
Can I get them with advantage because the people I'm playing against are complacent?
Yes, they've become docile. You have advantage, so 26 and a 22. All right.
Nice.
You took your 150 and turned it into 607. Not 607, but you got 600.
Okay.
Not bad.
As you return to Pao Ming at the end of the night, she thanks you for the aid that you guys had done at keeping everything calm, not flipping the lid and killing everyone. And she will give you back 600 gold in replace for your 600 pieces, coins. So, the ship comes into port. Danric, it gets easier as the ship gets closer and closer.
Yeah.
You feel more at home at the bow of a ship, and you pull it in nice and calm. The ship almost slides into its position as people, not really expecting the ship to have returned so early, immediately jump to action and grab hold of it and start docking it in, tying everything down. The guests all leave, followed shortly by the staff, leaving just you adventurers stood outside the ship.
I brought the octopus, and I'm gonna set it free into the ocean.
Aaron's going to take the captain and he's going to place him in the hammock as if he's gone to sleep and not woken up.
Okay. You also clean him up a little bit to make sure.
Yeah, try to take.
I mean, it looks like a simple brain aneurysm. Like, could have happened while he was asleep.
Yes, I mean, so make it look. There's no like stab wounds or anything that looks like he's been attacked directly. So I'm just gonna put him in there and just hope it doesn't cause any fuss. And then,
So, stepping away from the ship, returning to the city of Waterdeep proper, it's a cold night. The rains have stopped. What would you guys like to do? I know Loic lets the octopus out and it immediately swims away. Make a perception check. Okay. It doesn't take long before the octopus swims and something begins to follow it off into the distance.
No! Can I firebolt or ray of frost or firebolt, whatever is trying to chase it?
Right. You firebolt at something that's underwater, and the bolt of fire connects with the water and doesn't pass through.
Okay, and I'll try ray of frost.
It's a pet octopus. It's not ready to live in the wild.
It's life.
You cast Ray of Frost. Go ahead and cast it. Let's see how quick you can. 27. Nice. All right. So you see that something is stalking the octopus, and you cast Ray of Frost. Immediately, the water around just freezes up. There is a large fish, a nice big catfish that tried to eat the little octopus.
And be like, tentacle bros.
And it swims away, never to be seen again. So, you are here at the dock ward.
Aaron's going to take a big yawn and go, "Oh, this has been a very long day, guys. I could do some sleep. I don't know about you." But he's going to take the monkey down. Like these guys have been polymorphed. Is there anything you can do right now? Is it something you'd...
Yeah, I can get all three of them. Potentially. But I can try.
What are we going to do with
them? I might not be able to.
We...
Polymorph is kind of strong.
Right.
Tonight we could take some lodgings in the Hunters Guild and then figure everything out in the morning. My head hurts.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and try to change the monkeys back to children so that when I rest, I don't have to spend those spells again.
Great.
Okay.
That's 3 intelligence.
Just as a thought, Loic, judging by what Aaron has mentioned, for these monkeys to have been polymorphed children into monkeys, and for so long...
It needs to be true polymorph, doesn't it?
It has to be true polymorph that did it. And
okay,
true polymorph is a very powerful spell.
Can I pass it, though? Is it possible? I have a +5.
It's a 9th level spell, so the DC would be what?
20.
Would be 30. What is it? It's
10 plus.
10 plus the spell
level. Yeah.
Right?
So it'd be 19.
Yeah.
So it'd be 19.
So I can do it. I'm gonna try it.
Let me double check that. Dispel magic.
Part of me
Just to be clear.
secretly hopes Loic fails so we can have a monkey crew on our flying ship. Just for a little while.
Monkey crew of slave children? How dare
Yeah,
you.
the slave children part is the
later
part
tomorrow.
that's kind of.
No, they came. I broke open the lock. They jumped on my shoulder voluntarily. They're here because they want to be.
Well, you can pay them, and they won't be slaves
Yeah.
anymore.
You
Yeah.
have to force them to work.
Here you go, Aaron. I've got it up.
All right, thanks. Mine was taking too long. Okay, so it is 10 plus the spells level. All right, so go ahead and make a spellcasting ability check.
3 of them.
3 of them.
Okay.
Is someone taking a shower?
Sorry, that's.
Someone's doing the dishes.
Nope.
No.
None of it.
Just right.
You cast Dispel Magic 3 times and attempt to cast it. Unfortunately, you're unable to shake it. This is a powerful enchantment. Whoever did it must have been a very powerful individual.
Yeah, just
Okay.
turn.
Well, Tony, because that's the name of my monkey, I guess we'll just have to stick it out for a little bit and see what we can do later. Here you go. Here's some food that I snuck off the boat. You'll be great. You'll be fine. Hey, you wanna come live on a different boat with us? Wouldn't that be fun?
No response.
All right, not
Just
fun. Let's see what we can do for you.
Okay, so returning to your lodgings for the night, you all rest up, sleep.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope,
Yep.
nope. I wanted to say that I think we should check in with the Zentarium.
I agree.
So that they know that everything is 100% okie dokie. And if anything goes wrong after tonight, it obviously wasn't our fault.
In the morning.
It is the morning. Let us go now.
It's like 4 a.m.
You guys can sleep if you want. I'll go with you. I think this is very important to maintain this relationship.
I'm fine maintaining the relationship, but everybody needs to sleep. Waking up is not going to improve the relationship. Let's all get some sleep and speak to them in the morning.
Yeah, if they run a brothel, they'll be up now.
Yeah.
At 4 in the morning.
They're illicit
And-
activities. They are known to be up all night. But if you are tired, go take a nap. I do not wish to make you cranky.
We've all been up for like 24 hours, nearly.
No, we've been up for maybe 20 hours.
We started
A
in
conversation,
Miramar, went to
you could do
Downstone.
it, but you are getting tired.
My body is screaming at me, but I still think this is important enough. Follow through.
Jace.
I feel pretty good, actually. Okay. Well, why don't we just split in half? We don't need everybody to go to share a message.
Okay. For clarification, Gamel, you still need to spend at least 8 hours a day having a long rest.
That's right.
In order to gain the benefits of a long rest. Otherwise, you will get exhausted. But yes, you don't necessarily feel tired.
Well, but wandering around and talking would
Yeah.
constitute light activity. Yeah.
Okay. So you all make your way back towards the Zent house. You are greeted, welcomed in. Little surprise. People watch you intently. The activities have begun to die down this time of night. There's no one dancing. There's no one trading and selling. It's just people sat talking. Jasper is nowhere to be seen. But you are sat down and you actually have to talk to the red-headed woman in the heavy armor. She sits in the chair. All right. What is it now? We didn't expect to see us back so soon.
Jasper was concerned that our operations aboard the ship would have a negative impact on the Zentarium's bottom line. We come to report that none of your employees were hurt. Also, we came to deliver some information as Jasper was unaware of who was running the ship. So he may appreciate this information that he did not request of us, but we give to him freely because we respect the relationship with the Zentarium and our good friend Ilya.
Who's running the Golden Goose?
The ship was run by this captain who was an agent of the Order of the Kraken. Or Kraken, I've heard it both ways. We know not much about this order, but we have spoken with their chief of security, and she would welcome a change of leadership. So if you could find a captain who would be willing on short notice to take this very prestigious role, they would be very appreciative and in good hands, capable hands of the Zentarium.
You know, there's too many new orders popping up.
I agree.
Orders everywhere, you know? I miss it when it was just us, the Harpers and the Gauntlets.
You're a Harper?
Anywho. No, us,
No,
the
just-
Harpers,
Us
and the
Harpers.
Gauntlets.
Okay.
So, you think it's in our best interest to have a change in leadership of the boat. So I'm assuming you'll be paying for the hit that you've just put out on Casper.
Nope, we believe that we will. You will find that the change of leadership will be very peaceful.
Aye. And how will we get Casper Dryland off his ship?
This has been taken care of. You just need to find the captain.
Roll a persuasion check as she attempts to insight check you. Okay. Very well, very well. We appreciate the word. You need anything else, or can we go back to sleep?
Who are you? You are fascinating.
That will cost you, good sir.
Ah. I don't have much time to spare for chit chat and information trades. Maybe
Very
later.
well. Very well. It was great to meet you all.
I trust this concludes our business with the Zentarum, and
Of
everyone
course,
is happy with how everything
Your
turned
deal
out.
is done. We will take control of the ship completely, and we want nothing to do with you lot again.
All right. If when you send the new captain to the ship, just let them know that they can give a description of myself to the chief of security, Pao Ming, and she will most likely be very cooperative.
Aye, she's a stern woman, that one. Oh, but very well, very well. And with that, she stands up and leads you towards the exit.
Good day.
Good night. I'm going to bed. You all head back through the streets. The sun
Either way,
is
Aaron.
getting ready to dawn. Getting ready to break as you go to sleep. Staying at the Hunter's Lodge, right? Okay. Well, as you rest, you will gain the benefits of a long rest. 8 hours will go by, so it'll be about midday when you wake up, or at least when you feel ready and prepared to get out again. It's been a long day. Jorah tries to come and wake you up a couple times, but leaves shortly after realizing that Erin's actually in bear form in the bed, staying comfortable, rather than bothering with you guys. He lets you sleep, and you will wake up in the morning ready to go. And with that, we will end tonight's session there, as you have found the location of King Hecaton.
Hey.
The campfire RP will continue from this point. You will chit-chat throughout the night and have a good time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week's session. I'm Teo, the DM, and we are Crituitous RP. Thank you very much. Good night.